selfish. Bitch, go get your wig. Whatever. I may say something back, and then you're attacking females now because you're responding back to the vitriol that you received. And all of us on this panel have received vitriol and responded to it, and now they are the victims. And so I do believe in the whole aspect of protect black women because I present as a black woman, and I feel.
But I'm like, you got me.
Got some cool stuff here for you. What can I get you? So what you looking for? That chopper's prime? Scary ass shit. Even when I saw his ass coming down the block, I was straighten up.
My mother is a black woman. My grandmother is a black woman. My aunts are black women. So yes, it is definitely protect black women. But when do black women take accountability for being a part of the vitriol, or being a part of the disrespect, or just get accountability of, girl, you can't just berate us because you feel some type of way and we cannot respond. I want to say what I've learned in the discourse in these conversations.
Oh well.
Cut it out.
Let's do that. Okay.
Is they view us as men and they feel like that we are black men. They're already going through whatever situation they're going through with black men. And so because of the misogyny that's going on with black men and black misogyny with black men towards black women, we fall under that category. And so they feel like, well, you a man any motherfucking way, bitch. So I need to be able to tell your big dick ass to sit down. Or I need to be able to tell you, you stay in your place. You know your place, sir. You know your place, mister. Bitch, don't you ever say anything to me. Your existence is a pure disrespect to me. And it's just like, I never start anything, or we never really start anything with them, but we will be on the finishing line. Well, that goes to Monroe's point, right? Because who made the locker room unsafe? You are jumping around the gym, screaming and yelling. You are in the locker room with your cell phone recording. So you're protecting a space. You're making the space harmful. it's violent, right? Like it's not about they scream protect black women, it's protect women, but that's probably ever the root cause. And if we're being honest, I want to say this too. If you listen to Tish's story, it has changed multiple times. It was first that the person's name is Alexis, that Alexis had brought her into the locker room and called her a bitch. It was then she was getting dressed and she was naked. She turned around, she saw the last person that she said was a man and went into them and said, "Sir, what are you doing here?" So the story has changed. So it's like, what is the truth? Because it's definitely not coming from you, my love. Yes, Tish is not trustworthy at all. Tish is trying to get some press to promote her music. She's putting her music over all of these videos. I think two things are happening here. Tish is dead ass wrong because she wants to throw our community under the bus for some clicks and views. Well, is she not a part of our community? She is not a part of.
Finally.
Of our community. Is she not a lesbian?
Yes, a lesbian is not trans women. They are not killing lesbians at the rate that they are killing trans women. So to them, and you can see it. It's the reason why she's willing to collaborate on that post with gays against groomers. It's not gays against other gays. It's gays against trans. So that's one thing that's happening. The other thing that is happening, and I know that gym. I live in LA. I know Lady Ashley works out at that gym and sees her often. So I'm very familiar with what is going on here. She found someone who is, and I say this, and we disagree here. This is where we disagree. I disagree with the panel. That is not a trans woman.
Oh.
I am not. I stand on that. It is not a trans woman.
You don't have that right.
You can look at the panel, and it's not about hormones. It's about the fact that we are making an effort and we are presenting ourselves as women. I don't care if you're a brick. This is not about that person being a brick. This is about that person. They have found the most polarizing person you can find so that this story can go. It doesn't go if that person looks like Diamonds or Dominique or Maddie or Hope or Day or me or Monroe. It doesn't go. It only goes if you find a person that looks exactly. It's like they cast it in a movie. So no, that person is not trans to me.
See, that's a problem. That's a problem because, listen, according to my research, going to Alexis' page and going through their social media,
Pretty much everything in here.
they look very different from what they used to appear with the beard, very masculine, shirt off, than what they look now. And if you look at their post from February, they talk about hormone replacement therapy. That happened in February. So from February to now, they look totally different. They may not look as feminine as possible, but beard is gone, nail polish is there, dressing in women's clothes, earrings, like the whole thing. So to make it seem like this person was just like this thugged out trade in the locker room is disingenuous. And as we also said in the beginning of this video, we can't police someone's transition and what that looks like. So we can't say that person is not trans. We can't say that.
I am the police.
They call the
I
police.
feel somewhat as well, though. Do we advocate for the girls to start using female spaces or women's spaces like day one? Like when is it acceptable? Is it like,
but my whole thing is that this is not a day one situation, and I think that what we're failing to realize is that we're not talking about one of us. She's not one of the girls in the sense that she's one of the black girls. They don't have the same social understanding or stigmas around the way that they get to walk around in their transition as we do. So we're having this conversation, number one, because a black lesbian was the person that called her out. Because honestly, if this was two white women, we would be laughing and keying and carrying on about our business. The only reason that this is even making rounds in the black community is because this is a black lesbian woman. So I want to lend that to the conversation. But on top of that, we have to be mindful of the fact that everybody didn't jump out of the womb Beyonce. You didn't pop your first moan and look like Halle Berry in the 90s. Everybody started somewhere. And everybody had their first time going to that gym, going to that store, showing up at work, and just praying to make it through the fucking day, even though you know you're not all the way where you want to be at. And not only did this young lady do all of that and has been doing all of those things since February and probably been getting that in her personal life, but now this has gone viral. And imagine, you know how hard it is to go and do that shit and to put on a sports bra knowing you ain't got no titties and to throw your hair in a little small ponytail to make yourself feel a little bit feminine and now the entire internet is reading you, bitch? Imagine if that would have happened to any one of us in our first step out moment. Some of us wouldn't even be trans anymore if that happened to us. And now we're subjecting somebody to that because, oh, she don't look the way we want her to look. Everybody is not transitioning to be the dog.
No,
So
this is not.
It's not a possibility.
Take it.
I don't think it's a possibility argument. I think it's a presentation argument. I think it's an effort argument, like Quay said. I mean, I feel like if you're going to use women's faces, we've all been taught to make sure that you look the part so that you are not causing any type of social disruption.
What if you don't? What if you don't?
But what do you mean? What if I don't?
What if you don't? What if you did all the things that you were supposed to do, that everybody said your wig is right, the lace is right, your makeup color is right, everything is right, and you still get clocked? Does it justify the harm?
You just said
I'm
that.
gonna defend you.
Argument about possibility, though. You just said that. I don't think.
But inherently, when y'all say that it's about trying and effort, you're making it about
We're making it about passability, and we're making it misogynistic because we're going back to beauty standards. And at the end of the day, we've been socially constructed to adhere to European beauty standards. Like, I can't tell you how many times I done heard lace mentioned on this damn live, and ain't none of y'all ever seen me with false hair. What about the fact that I don't try? I come on this bitch purposefully. If any of y'all ever seen me in person, y'all know I don't get this in person. I come on this bitch purposefully. Please,
Well, bitch, you give the fish though.
care.
Don't give the fish though.
But should I be allowed? I didn't ask for this look. This is genetics. I just happen to look like family natural.
The reason why I say it's about effort is only because these stories are manufactured. Our identities are is a political football, and we cannot trust everything that we see. So I am not willing to get on the internet and say that's a trans woman, I'm gonna sit behind her, because I know that a lot of this stuff is orchestrated, and that's not conspiracy theory. That's real, and I agree with you, Bree. It's like, what does this have to do with me? It has to do with me because they're not going to come after the non-binaries. They're going to come after us because we need the hormones. We need the gender-affirming care. We need female on our ID. This is my real life. This is not my pronouns. I live this, and I've been living this I'm 30 years old. I transitioned at 15. I've been living this for half of my life.
Hey, you're one of the youngest people on this panel. I've been living as a trans woman for more than half of my life at this point, and it's damn near as old as you. But the point that I'm trying to make is that we should, like it's been said on this panel already, we should not be adhering to cis, hetero beauty standards. We should not be holding other trans people to those beauty standards. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to come up here and sound all preachy because my views are strongly 50 years. Initially wanted to, me personally, when I first started transitioning, I was genderqueer for so long because I told myself that if I didn't pass, I wasn't going to transition. So that's to give you, I understand the mind frame, and I know that a lot of us kind of had to go through this.
So, you're gonna run what's known in the biz as a hijacking because you're hijacking the Merryweather convoy. The bridge is a nice, tidy place to get it done. Not many places they can go, but plenty of options for you. You can station people at vantage points, block the road, and wait for them to roll into the trap. You can try to take out the drivers at once. You can concentrate really hard and try to make the truck levitate with your minds. This is San Andreas, after all. Do whatever you think will work, but hit the truck and don't let anyone follow it. You're bringing it to Paige in Grapeseed so she can dig out the thermal charges. Oh yeah, and that reminds me, try not to blow them up and do not damage that truck at all, okay? I'll be in touch when there's a target about a click out from the bridge. They're on the way. Roll out some fly paper, start thinking some nasty thoughts, and do whatever you're gonna do.
Rite of passage to be unsafe in bathrooms until we were able to present a certain way. And just because we had to go through a rites of passage that was unsafe for us doesn't make it right for us to do it to other people.
Also, I'm sorry, Diamond. I just want to introduce two things. Quaytan, I hear you, right? I also want to introduce to the chat that this is the gym. So if this person was working out, if this person was, you know what I'm saying, sweating and just getting out the shower and didn't have a chance to present the way that they would when they were heading out into the world, they were in here working out, right? So, and to the point of the research, like Jerome was saying, the hormones since February, all of those things. So I get and I completely understand the real life thing. To the point of, I am a girl who is a preacher out of habit. I just had a whole anxiety attack the other day because I went to a church that I had never been to before, and it was a mega church, right? Now, prayer, like, is this a mega church? And my brother said no, but I go where I'm familiar because I know the people know me. They've been polite to me there. I go to the same coffee shop. You know, I go to those safe spaces that I've been in, and they ain't clocked the set, and you know all of those things. And I've been transitioning for almost 9 years, right? So I know a little bit about going into these unsafe spaces, but going to a new space that I had never been to before, that was experiencing so many different people, there was this anxiety that had built up in me. It was all right in safety. The people were not the church goers were not, people were curious about what was going on, but my anxiety was telling me people were staring at me. People were looking at me, and those were the things that was causing this heavy anxiety in me. So I completely get it. That was the unsafe space, right? But what happens when any of us on this panel are now deemed not passable in a space that we go into because our hair isn't the way that it's supposed to be or our makeup isn't, and we have presented a way? Like, that's what I'm saying. So I think that what's going on is an excellent opportunity to then create more safer measures and protocols, right? No genitalia should be exposed in a public bathroom at all. At all. Right? And then also making things more, okay, spaces where individuals can then do these extra things. But I don't want to get into a space where I'm now allowing someone to police my presentation, let alone then transitioning into, because it's going to start with the presentation, then it's what I wear, then it is what I do, then it is, you know, then there's another enslavement in my body. And so just want to then, if we're going to have a conversation surrounding safety, then let's have a conversation surrounding safety, and then how we can move forward from that. And if we're going to transition the conversation into the community members of the LGBTQIA then support what safety measures look like and how we can stand in unity, then that's a different conversation. I think we can all go into our own experiences about what it looks like and who raised us and what our definitions or levels of femininity should or shouldn't be at presentation. And I think those are just, that those don't serve our community well.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Monroe, because all of us on this panel have been clocked. The pussiest of us gets clocked down to the floor. But to devil's advocate that. Why isn't it never the black girls?
Well, as the newest girl and probably the clockiest girl on the panel, girl hush. Yeah. No, because all of y'all know some bitch that done said that about me in a chat somewhere. You know, what they say, I just transitioned 5 minutes ago, right? You know.
But trash them together and post them online.
Well, my point is, as someone who, the only surgery I've had is my gastric sleeve, right? As someone who has not, I, I resonate with this idea of the fear of presentation, but also someone who transitioned with a great deal of privilege.
Hey, it's Jeff Zelensky with NAM's Custom Cycle Products, and I'm here at the Full Throttle Saloon to tell you about Law Tigers. They're part of the community. We have a really good relationship with Law Tigers, probably for about 6-7 years.
And I was able to. I didn't have to learn how to do my makeup. I didn't know anything about hair, but I was wigged and done. I did not know, and my privilege positioned me not to have to know. I was able to recognize early on how my presentation would be a weapon of safety for me. I will also say, I think my age, also I'm 43, right? And I think my age and I think the experience of having to conform and kind of realize how systems move as like millennials and 80s babies, it's easy for us to like conform to systems of oppression because we're just like, bitch, I just want to make it and get through. Girls, everybody don't want to be a Sally Shakur every day, so on and so forth, right? And so it's easy for me to be like, okay, bitch, I'm born as Little Bill under this, right? I don't know the world where I would walk outside and go to the grocery store right now and feel not only comfortable, but feel safe. Do I want to have that type of confidence and mindset one day? Sure, because that is how I show up in the world, and I don't want to feel like my wig denotes my womanhood. At the same time, that's an area of tension, right? And we're very public. All of us are very public people. One thing that I wish we would talk about is, I think there's the presentation, but I think there's also the component of race and the experience of race. And I know Madison brought up the conversation about black girls. One, I've just been thinking since, because this video was posted like 10 days ago. You know what I'm saying?
October 26th.
It was a while, right? And I remember thinking, I don't know black girls who can afford a membership to go to. And then I'm just like, okay, who's living in LA? You know what I'm saying? Like all those components. And then I was like, in that moment, I hear everyone talking about, yes, the oppression of the expectation of how you present. And also, I feel like everybody on this panel, even though we know that's there, I'm like, in real time, when I was watching that video, I'm like, that person shouldn't have. So I'm like, what is the de-escalation mindset to just get out of there and be safe for that person? Like in that moment, I was like, well, what's that conversation? And then it continued to level up to me. No one's holding Gold's Gym accountable to how they created this environment. My thoughts and questions are, do they let people know that all, like, how they do? And I'm like, what is the training process? How are staff trained in de-escalating and handling these situations? What did the one what's her name? Trish. What did Tish sign when she came in? Because it feels like she doesn't know that they could around. Well, I'm just saying, like, it feels like she didn't know there was a possibility she could turn around and somebody could have a penis. I'm just saying, like, this is all, like, I know you have personal understanding of Tish Way, but I'm like, this is me from the back end. I do agree. Don't wanna push aside a person's authentic fear, but 6 or 4 days, 6 or 5 or 6 days in the game, I would like to write an anthem about protecting, the things. It's like we gave a teacher that, which multiple truths can exist at once. Last but not least, her one solution of safety is a petition that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance need to sign to give her safety. And the only person involved in all of this situation who is a documented sexual predator is Donald Trump. And I keep wondering if we focus on the idea of keeping them safe, what we should focus on, what is the true remedy that we can get out of it? Because at the end of the day, okay, you don't want the trans girls in there, right? Like let's get trans out. We want to get trans bathrooms in the renaissance of the trans renaissance.
They must have access to
So
satellite
that's
imagery.
the
They can
solution.
see where
So
they're coming.
I feel like we're putting children's safety. And the last thing I would say is Madison was talking about, I feel as though most women see trans women as men. And I think we, for them, are a population of men that they more than likely are able to hold accountable to the harm of men than cis men. That there is a world where everybody will rally around them seeing trans women as bad people and essentially men, and we are a classification of men that actually can be called out and they can put the outcomes of the patriarchy and these other systems at our feet. And most people corral around it, right? Because everyone understands safety and bathrooms when it's us, but there's no conversations around, there's at least 5 men who have been arrested in high and powerful positions in the last week around sexually harming people. There's a black woman who was a teacher who just beat a case for raping a student in her fucking classroom. But that's not the conversation. It's the phantom belief of fear of bathrooms across the country. Were bitches pissing before 2020? Was y'all like, what was happening? Because my next question is like, this is before overkill. Okay, so like, it's for generations, folks have been using restrooms and figuring it out. I don't know is there a conversation of the world we want to see and how we navigate it versus the world we're living in and how we might have to navigate it for the next however many years? Let me say this. So, because sometimes y'all say stuff and it confuses me. So just because white people think that they are superior, I'm supposed to act like I'm not, I'm inferior? Just because motherfuckers think something, the reality of a situation doesn't mean I'm supposed to move within their reality. I feel like y'all are justifying harm of trans people just because they don't align with the cisgender standard. And for me, and then y'all turn around and act like y'all are legislating and organizing for the safety of trans people, but then you say, oh, but you got to fit this standard to be safe. That doesn't feel comfortable to me. That doesn't feel okay.
That part. That part. Everybody out here is trying to do this work, and I'm working for the community, but you're only working for the community for bitches that you agree with, align with your aesthetics. And we see it in the way that y'all click up. Oh, it's a trans convening. No, it's a you and your bitches convening. Because no trans men were invited. The girls that don't look a certain way weren't invited. And most of the people that are doing the work are the girls that y'all want to throw away, the non-binary people that you don't want to acknowledge, and half of the clocky girls who are trying to get the resources to do the thing that you're asking them to do. And so at this point, we're hypocrites to our own fucking movement. Either we're here for all of the people.
Are you ready? This should be pretty easy. I've kept it simple since you all seem pretty simple. In a good way. In a good straight ahead, low IQ kind of. Oh no, let's stop it. It's the new meds. Okay, armed robbery. Here we go. Whew.
in the trans community, we want everybody to eat, or we don't want to eat at all, because those are the two options.
Oh, you know that everybody's not here for all the community. But what
we know that, but what I'm saying is don't. I agree with Dominique. Don't preach it if that's not what the fuck you mean. Say what you mean and mean what the fuck you say.
Would you do this if you were in a space with your homegirl that's Ricky? Because I be in spaces with Ricky girls. And somebody came in and said, she don't look like a girl. We want her out of here. I would flip that motherfucking table like Jesus.
if they did that to my friend, I would not be there.
Stay in control. If they think you're weak, they might try something. Demolitions through the first gate. Crowd control. Get behind there and get your guns in the tellers. Now, there's a second gate that'll get you access to the lower level. Blow it. Asher, you're up. We've repackaged that other crew's hardware. Let the hostages know what happens to heroes, yeah? This ain't them movies. If you don't control the crowd or you have to pop someone, this thing is gonna get a whole lot more difficult. That's it. The vault door's opening. Demolitions. Use the remaining thermal explosives on the titanium gates in the vault. Boom! You're in! Get all the cash you can carry.
Since starting improv class, I have learned that the best scenes are ones that are built together, brick by brick. And so, I think the thing that wins me over is when there's equal participation on both sides and learning about each other.
Okay, now regroup back on the main floor. gone different, we'd be dealing with a whole lot more cops. Move and fire! Move and fire! Don't let them corner you! Right about now, the CEO of Pack Standard is calling the mayor. He's probably patched in the chair of the Union Depository. And they're all about to tear the ass out of the chief of police. Cops on the street will be highly motivated to bring you down. But you don't need to worry about that. Just get to Raton Canyon. I've got a plan. So, have any dye packs gone off in the bags? You know because you'd be covered in paint? No? That means the transponders worked. Thank you. Use the bikes to get away from the cops and to get upstate. We left the dinghy at Raton Canyon. That's your exit plan. There's a route coming to your GPS now. It'll take you off-road, away from the cops, and towards our boat. Stay together or go a different way if you want, but this'll be the safest route. I like the way you operate. If this job had gone different, we'd be dealing with a whole lot more cops. Go, 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 go! You don't want to get surrounded. Move! Move! Right about now, the CEO of Pack Standard is calling the mayor. He's probably patched in the chair of the Union Depository. And they're all about to tear the ass out of the chief of police. Cops on the street will be highly motivated to bring you down. But you don't need to worry about that. Just get to Raton Canyon. I've got a plan. So, have any dye packs gone off in the bags? You know because you'd be covered in paint? No? That means the transponders worked. Thank you, Avi Schwartzman. Okay, now this next bit's gonna sound crazy, but crazy's often what gets you out of trouble. You're coming up to a rickety old bridge. Cross it, aim for the cliff, and drive right off. Then pull your parachute and get in the boat we've left for you in the river. That's your way out. Come to think of it, Bear's Woods just before you jump might be the best way to get away from the cliff. Soon as you're airborne, ditch your bikes and start gliding. That's easy, right? Coming from a guy who walks with a cane.
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah. Oh, my friends! We did it! Well, you did it. Woo. I know I didn't do that much, but you, you know, I thought you were just a bunch of creepy and quiet weirdos. Turns out you're a bunch of creepy, quiet weirdos with talent. You rob and you steal and destroy like geniuses. Oh, I love it. I love it. Here, let me wire you your money. You know, I will never forget the good times. All the laughs we had. You know, you're like family. The picnic, you know, the hike in the woods, and all the selfies, and oh, and the time we went rollerblading, and we watched the sunset, and we stayed up all night talking and sharing our innermost fears, and then what was that? That wasn't you? Even the skinny dipping and the oh. Oh, what are you saying? Oh, the drugs. Oh man, the drugs. I am a heavily medicated man. I'm not well at all. I'm a little embarrassed. Okay, the money here, and here, and here, and here. Okay, you better take off and take care. Okay. Bye bye.
I ain't gonna get into the military shit. Just know that there was a time I felt like it was the only way I was gonna get out of LS. All right, let's talk. Need any more? Stay trapped.
Well, girl, you did your lace wasn't right. Oh, girl, you have a little stubble on your chin. Ooh, they did clock you, girl. You didn't have the right makeup on. Girl, you would not say that to your friend.
No, you're correct. I would not say that to my friend.
Right. So why are you saying it about her?
Because I am rejecting the premise. I'm rejecting the premise of
But who are you to do that?
of this. I'm doing it because of this story. I do not believe that that is a trans woman.
But you just got information that in February they started their hormones and
Fuck it. Lucky escape.
A new luxury car is available to win. Stop by.
Hey man, this better be good news. Yeah, cut the shit. Were they interested? Fuck the front door. They can put in a new one. You kidding?
Here's a brain teaser for you. You measure my life in hours, and I serve you by expiring. I'm quick when I'm thin, and slow when I'm fat. And the biggest clue I'll give you is, the wind is my enemy. What am I?
Trevor is very pleased with how you're getting. So pleased that he couldn't get here himself. But he told me that if you keep this up, maybe he won't. Well, he's very happy, and trust me, a happy Trevor is a good Trevor, and we all want a good Trevor. I mean, he suffered a lot. He's not the horrific, bloodthirsty maniac that we all imagine he is. Well, he is, but he's got a gentler side. He loves his mother. Anyway, after this, we'll all be rich, and you can get to know him better. A kind man who likes animals and children, and smoking crystal while the sun sets. Okay, so you're going to the lumberyard in Paleto Forest to pick up some grass. Now, it's a whole lot of grass, and it's well protected, so you gotta go in cautious. Now, 2 of you with guns in the hills, and 2 of you on the ground. You're gonna get a whole lot of shipment, and you're gonna get out of there. Now, ground team will be driving the shipment out. Gun team will be protecting it. You're gonna bring the grass to me, and I'm gonna package it with the rest of the stuff for sale. Then all we gotta get is the chemicals that Chef needs to get his lab up and running. And then we're good for the sale. Trevor will be in touch if there's a problem.
Or you rejected them?
Because I have visual.
And so you're doing what cis women do to us. You are doing what cis women do to us.
Absolutely.
You are doing what cis women do to us.
Quay, that's bullshit.
Can I say this?
Quay,
Can I
that's
also-
bullshit.
Can I
That
say
is
this?
bullshit, Quay. You cannot dictate what somebody else identifies themselves as. You are one of the girls that actively talks about your big dick and how you use it. That is a cause for people to illegitimize your womanhood.
That's fine.
And
I'm not.
that is now mine.
You are using
That is the
an
cause for it.
It's
acceleration.
not.
You are
Can I
using
say-
an acceleration in theory. I am dealing with what is right in front of me. I am not
What's
looking at
right in front of us are the facts that this girl has been transitioning since February.
Baby, she's not. Y'all are living in a delusion.
Can I say
Look at the
something?
girl and see she's not trans.
Can I say something?
Quay, you are literally right now speaking talking points and agreeing with people who don't see it for you and don't see it for any of us on the channel, regardless of what
Because
you look like.
sometimes
You are agreeing with bigots right now. You are sounding like a bigot.
sometimes 2 things can be true. You own a dishwasher, but agrees with the community standards. There is nuance to things. And what I'm saying is, if you are a transgender woman, it is not about looking a certain way, but you at least gotta have a wig on, baby girl. If you're going into this,
Looking at that and
Okay, hold on. Jerome, I think you're trying to say something. I want to. I hear what you said, and I'm gonna try to regurgitate what you said in a way in a second. Say it, Jerome.
I'm going to say, like, I saw a lot of people saying they're not trans because they're not on hormones. Then they come to the person that's on hormones, like, they're not trans, they're just not because meanwhile, all the ones that have been ethnic or all these things allegedly get off to one time and every post that was made that day has been about making them trouble. So one of the girls moving for justice.
Okay, what I'm hearing Quay say is this. I'm hearing Quay say 2 things can be true at the same time. I hear Quay saying, no, I'm not telling you that, you have to pass. What I'm telling you is, if you're saying you're trans, all of us here on this panel understand what it's like to go through the stages of going from sand to clay to brick to pavement to house. We know to die. We know the levels of it, and there's many different variations of it. So we will accept. We will accept. We will say, all right, you're trans. Got it. Ma'am? Yes, bring it 100% chance. Gee,
Girl.
you don't understand trans. Them out on the outside don't give a fuck about. They don't care about that. They don't see it. They don't want to understand that. So when you Grace say a bit, just a tad, is that it's like, girl, if you give it a little push, you know, you can tell when somebody is confused. Their eyes get to squint, and they like, I don't know. Because we do it to the cunts. When we confuse all the cunts. Because there are cunts. There's a lot of cunts that get clocked.
Remember when Justin Timberlake talked about billionaire in Social Network? We're talking about 12 zeros here. More than an annual GDP of most countries in the world. Tesla shareholders cheered after they approved.
And we be squinting our eyes. Wait a minute. Hold on. But what gets her through might be that kill. What gets her through, it might be that lash. What gets her through, it may be the bones shoved together. It may what gets her through outside in the regular. So for safety purposes, I'm hearing this for safety purposes.
She should work out in makeup.
No, not in makeup, Monroe.
She should work out in the wig because I know
No, Monroe. She should work out. She should. Okay, let's be clear here. Mama's got a way to go.
Okay, so if we're going to introduce that to the chat, for the sake of this conversation, sure, she got a long way to go. However, he wasn't at.
You keep playing with me, Gumbo. No. No.
One and only. What can I get you?
Met Gala. She wasn't trying to push through at the nearest club or nightclub. Mama was in there getting her workout on. And so, and also, she may have had her ball dress or her wig and also her Dorothy shoes in her locker that she was trying to get to before Tish interrupted her in the middle of her very funky groove. So we can't say, well, listen, let me just talk about me. It's the type of stuff. What I will not do what I will not do is try to police her in that space because I know what it's like when a bitch tries to police me. So if Mama was pushing through with a brush cut, a buzz cut, and a few whiskers, and all she's trying to do is get her biceps together, push her on, push her on. I'm not here to dictate what that looks like for you. If the conversation, back to what I was saying, is rooted in safety, then let's talk about the protocol, the procedures, how to de-escalate, what all of that looks like. If this is about trying to get the unity back in the community, then let's talk about that. But it's just a lot of distraction and deflection tactics because to the point, there isn't any white, there isn't any black trans women that this has been publicized or national news about. Because we know better. 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 No, it just happened to me. It just wasn't public. We don't get the privilege of it because I was in college and they tried to get me out of a bathroom. So, and I was doing all the right stuff. Listen, what I don't like is the arbitrary line of womanhood, and we all, cis and trans, got this shit going on, and it's not enough. If you ain't a family and got a husband, have babies, you're not woman enough. If you ain't got a uterus, you're not woman enough. You can't have a period, you're not woman enough. That's cis women. If you're not small enough or dainty enough, you're not woman enough. If you ain't got titties yet, you're not woman enough. If there's so many things that everybody has to define womanhood, and we are judging people. What I don't want to happen is harm to us. If just based on these fucking arbitrary lines, because they don't work for any of us.
Diamond, I get that, right? But like, so then we need to have the conversation around where do we come to a middle? Because as trans women, we do have to share the space in the system. And just about every player in the state looking for it, and looking for the people who stole it. Meantime, my buyer keeps putting back the exchange. Keeps asking questions like, where it all came from. If only they knew. How do you keep your head above water? You keep kicking, right? The cash from this sale's gonna go. But if we can set up a lab, cook our
Hey, Gumbo.
There should be a few semis at the farm. Some are faster than others. Choose one, hook it up to the tanker, and haul out of there.
Where's the comments?
That's why I said about protocols, right? Because if it's about
So then where how do we navigate these spaces?
But that's the issue. We can have the real conversations for real. I mean, from my psychoanalytical standpoint, keep in mind she's somebody who I haven't treated or had a personal conversation with, but I have listened to her content in full regarding this subject. I have watched her go on for weeks about this person and these men and these bathrooms. In my opinion, Tish is really dealing with some issues because she feels like her body is being viewed by somebody with a penis. She doesn't want to be seen by somebody with a penis, and she makes this very clear in her content, and she don't give a fuck how much past. She don't think that transness is real, blah, 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 all of these things. And a lot of that transphobia, I believe, in my psychoanalysis via the internet, I believe, in my opinion, that it's all rooted in some trauma that she has experienced regarding people who have penis.
And she needs treatment for that. That's not my problem. That's not my problem. She's not the only person that has been raped. She's not the only person that's been molested. So sign up with Fairy Plus Therapy and handle that.
I don't be a part of or be considered to co-term this idea that yes, her trauma is coming out in a way that's harmful, but I just want to make it very clear that the root of the behavior is real, and like the kind of this goes really crazy. This goes really crazy, and I just want to make it clear that I believe the safety piece of the conversation. I think the biggest concern I have is Trish doesn't know what she needs to really make herself safe because she hasn't been able to dive into it. And from a space of fairness when it comes to
Ow!
who does this work, labeling people and forcing people into that care, that's just as harmful as talking about presentation for a lot of people. They force people to look at the shit that's inside of them and how it's spewing out of them, even if we know the root cause. And so, outside of if we focus on the people, it's always going to be based on what someone looks like and what they could have done, right? Once I saw somebody walking around with a pussy that they built and a bitch still called them a man, I was like, bitch, the lines don't exist. It's foolery and fuckery. I'm not doing it. Once I saw that the girl had beat King Cooper and they completed all the Super Mario Brothers and the bitches still was like, man, I said, girl, fuck that. That being said, if we touch on the people and we talk about what can we actualize safety.
So why you had to wave me out like that?
Wait, hold on, Monroe. Wait, Monroe. Is she talking about your pussy? She's talking about you, Monroe.
We talk about this, and this is what we talk about. And I think that, you know, I have a conversation. The girl was like, he was beautiful, he was the funky dude, and he's on the tanker, bring it to our gas station outside town. Still clap. Still relax. There's the drama bit before I go through that hell if that's not what moves me at this point. That being said, if we take it out of the people and focus on the concept of what safety is, I think that is the true impact we are at. Because I don't think, even if it's a room of trans people, that we know how to actually look at BT, a space where it's all black trans folks except for the cis girls that the trans men bring, right? That even when it's all us, the definition of safety that fits everybody is a struggle. So I think that's the question. Can we create safety in mixed spaces that are public spaces? Is it possible? I love everybody. Because y'all are peeking in, and this shit's going to get clipped, and that's all I just keep
I think specifically there's a lot of cis women that know trauma because of things that they have experienced from people who have a penis, and they're supposed to be understand. because at the end of the day, they really don't feel safe about men. It's men.
Also, I think this is requires here is that we're looking at a dark skinned, masculine presenting lesbian woman who looks like a man in the face for all of it. And the money. And the money. And the money.
Wait.
But I think that what's also happening here is that when we talk about safety, safety doesn't make those women fit into a binary presentation of women that feel safe in the back.
Bitch, I ain't for nothing. She talked about trans girls taking advantage of her attention. I think that you could whip my ass, rape me, steal my pussy, my meat, all of it. Bitch, all of everything.
But the thing about that is, how many times do we think that she's been complained on herself? Now she's found somebody that she can pick on, somebody that people are going to rally behind her when she does this. There's no backlash, and in the midst of all of the bullshit, she gets to push her fucking music. And everybody's missing that part. So on top of her trauma, sexual trauma, she has social trauma that nobody's addressing, and then she also has an agenda that Quay hasn't been addressing, but I don't think that it's a one or the other. I think that it's a culmination of all of those three things tied together that it's a white person. So more people are less likely to give a fuck and villainize her, and it became the perfect storm. But that don't make it right.
And I would like to cancel whether she knows it or not. That music is a rap, bitch.
And I just want to name too that prior to the situation, Alexis was hitting that she never had a problem in that gym before. There's never been complaints from her before until Tish made, her thing, and then a couple people complained because of Tish's reaction. But she's been safe in that gym. And to our knowledge, women have nothing against Alexis said that the other women at the gym was covering her.
Yeah. But most of y'all are from the South. So this isn't like a scrum. So we have so many spaces are gender neutral. We do have gender neutral gyms, not that one, but you can be affirmed here in LA. That's just how we think it. Just think y'all are so smart. Agree with so much of what you're saying. I feel like where we just differ is where because I'm into trans people who are trans for real. Say your reality. There's a lot of people who play in gender. Seen them do it in the media. It could be that you can say you're not binary, or you can say you're a trans woman. I see people play in gender all the time, and this is not a game to me. This is for real. Just so you know.
Let's just go. I'm pointing over here to like with and I am like the same. This is not one of those times, right? Like, but yeah, there are. And it's a just hilarious talking point. Yeah, like there are. Hold on. Do y'all want to dissect that while we're here?
And neither are hilarious.
Neither are hilarious. Bring into the conversation. Okay, but I do think in the conversation of either tropes that are utilized in every other system, because earlier on TikTok, it was a white woman who came in my comments like, if you want me to be playing, I feel unsafe, and anyone who could possibly overpower me and all these things. Valid fears and concerns, and I replied to her and said, I understand how you feel because that's how I feel navigating white people. And there were people, and it was specifically black women who were like, well, what does that have to do with that? I said, because I understand what it's like to walk through the world, understand what could happen, not know who I'm around. I said, but the difference is there is a historical documentation of the true violence of these folks' existence, and I still have to figure out how to push through, right? I have to navigate that fear, and I can't walk around and say, remove these white people because I know they could be dangerous to me, so they have to leave the... room, and people were gagged. And I wanted to say this is a real thing I feel, but also, okay, y'all need a trans bathroom. Well, you need a color fountain. Like all of these things echo each other, and black folks, I feel like they don't want to validate it because they feel like we are making a choice. We're choosing to be marginalized.
Yeah.
We're being born into marginalization.
Yeah.
That doesn't open black folks up to us coming together and having real conversations. And that's why at the end of the day, in another word, I would reach out to Trish and want to try to have this conversation and be like, how do we get you to something that feels like closure? But I don't feel like that openness is there.
She wouldn't receive it. She wouldn't receive it. Because Dominic, how you would hit her is imagine if you were in the women's room and women were screaming out, they are uncomfortable because your strong black ass is up in there making them feel uncomfortable because there's a man in here. Imagine.
You would see
Imagine that your black ass was standing up there with all those biceps, triceps, and quadriceps, and those goddamn cornrows going back, and white women began to brigade and spin around in a circle and go up there and say, "Oh my God, there is a man in here."
And I also want to say this because it's been on my heart a little bit and I still feel bad about it. Them dog whistles and that, like, wanted to be like, close proximity to whiteness and have this privilege. I mean, just last night I was talking about this on social media, and I was just saying how I have been in both spaces, and I'm naming names because I can. And so India Moore said to me last night, I wouldn't feel safe with you in women's spaces because people who look like you, men who look like you, have harmed me. And I think that what happened?
She's right.
Huh? I didn't hear that part. So, and I was like, it was a little triggering for me, but also for me, it's just like, people who also look like they have affirmed you, have defended you, have supported you. So when we throw those daggers out there, I'm wondering, are systems or companies or organizations responsible, like a gym facility, for people's personal, individual, like issues or trauma that might be going on? Because that just seems to be unfair to any business or company.
Because to Dominique's point, that means that every black person walking should be able to walk into a gym and say, "Get all these crackers out of here," because of the systemic and documented oppression that is happening actively right now to us.
With love, like I heard Quay's statement, with love, if India can find a way to be in a relationship with a man who was accused of many rapes and we did healing circles for, I believe that he has the capacity to have a conversation with her own. That's not listening her fears and her concerns. It's taking a case study and true data and things that I've witnessed myself and that the capacity is there. So that those are those moments when I'm just like, you sit in a space and you have a great deal of privilege. You were on the red carpet at your movie premiere with several people who have committed sexual assault. David Harbour was just reported from the young girl on Stranger Things about a concern from this season, standing next to these people. So, and again, not dismissing your fears and concerns, but you demonstrated the capacity to navigate those when you've chosen to. And even when we don't feel like someone presents a certain way, if we can give that grace outside, I would love for us to figure out how we can activate that grace internally. We can still have our feelings, but this idea of the presentation is scary when you were moving into a high rise with a rapist is wild business.
Okay. All right.
They call me off guard. I'm just,
But that's the truth. You laying in the bed with a predator, a known predator. We had to do a restorative justice get on, and you talk about you unsafe. Fuck out of here. Wait, you give it up. I know you ain't acting like we went too far, because you letting that same predator use your social media to spy on his victims. He's not supposed to have contact with all now. Okay. You're not about to do that.
Okay, I'm so lost to what's going on here.
Cheese, would you like a sip?
I don't know what's right now. No. This is something that I
ethical pussy, we can talk about it. Because it was some shit on. But what you want to say about the non-binary? Get the fuck out of here. Where India said that Jerome looks like someone who could be a person who could possibly harm them, and they expressed that due to Jerome's presentation. And I said, there's documentation. Actually, I have the documents because Black and Pink was a part of running the healing circles of someone that India was dating and living with who was a sexual predator, and we went outside of the justice system to do healing and restorative work. And she works with people who are documented predators every day, and she's able to figure it out and move forward. So if she can do that with people who are outside of her community, I would expect her, with her deep capacity of empathy and conflict resolution, my God, on today.
Y'all, hold on. There's a few comments that are coming in that I'd like to highlight. There are biological women in here saying that y'all, we want biological women respect, but we're disrespecting biological women. I'd like to know how are we disrespecting?
We barely even truly discussed Trish in a way that has really come. So, okay, wait, pause. If you're talking about me naming that she looks like a man in the face, she does. And I think that the same way that y'all are, some of y'all like to say, oh, it's about the truth. You were born a male. The truth is, while she may have been born female, that woman has a very masculine face. And body. And if we can't name that, then y'all shouldn't be able to name that we were born male. Because you believe need to bring you a clue or what?
I just want to say, I'm not looking for your respect. I'm not looking for cis women's respect. I just want safety. That's it.
And so that goes back to that this is an opportunity to talk about safety and protocols and procedures and de-escalation tactics, maybe keeping all genitalia, hidden.
It's the gym, though. It's not a bathroom. It's a gym. So
it's a gym.
No, but it was the bathroom of the gym where we're talking about how people. So this
The locker room.
The locker room itself, right? Like a gendered space. Yeah, but people get naked to go into the shower, right? Like you can put your towel on the hook and go into the thing. Like you don't have to be walking around with your ass out.
Well, my thing is, the person to me in this situation, to be perfectly honest, that is most likely to cause harm, is the masculine affirming lesbian in a space where there are likely people that she will be attracted to. This trans woman is very likely not even interested in women. So when we think about the person that is most likely in that space,
Most of them are not.
speak for yourself.
Okay, you don't give your phone. Can you go, you big bitch?
Just so people don't lose this in a factual conversation, sexual harm is not historically rooted in attraction, it's rooted in power. So folks have to attracted, but I don't want people to leave and make it seem as if we're not adding that important context.
Absolutely. And if we're going to add further context, statistically, trans women are not known to rape cisgender women.
They don't give a fuck about that, though. They don't give a fuck about that. What they give a fuck about is having a moment, because we are polarizing. We're two things at the same time. You gotta hold two thoughts, that you can have a male body and a woman presentation, and people have a problems holding two things.
And see, that's the problem itself in thinking that we're two things. We are one thing. There are people who live outside of this binary box. There are people who are born outside of this binary box. The problem is these binary fucking boxes. Even in this fucking conversation, we are ignoring people who are intersex. I mean, to be honest, Trish said that fuck the.
Is there a room in the back or something? Cool, I'll get set up. So, Mr. Kress said you might be able to help me out with something. Well, not me, so that's clear. It's not me you're going to be helping. And I want it understood that I am not involved. Just a bystander doing a favor. And this is not an offer of employment so much as an opportunity. And, well, anyway, that's just getting a bit technical, but the point is, sometimes our fair and legal justice system makes mistakes. And this is one such time. Here he is, Professor Maxim Brashkovsky. You know the professor? Used to be head of research for the Army. 3 doctorates. Overconfident polymath, vain sociopath, tedious egomaniac, control freak, geneticist, weapons development, engineer, car nut, but definitely not a people person. Accused of espionage along with everything else? You don't remember? Well, lucky you. Exceedingly vain and self-absorbed man, brilliant at everything he does, yada yada yada, makes you want to puke. He's a goddamn traitor. I mean, he's a rat, but he pays. Incarcerated for a crime he did commit, but, well, let's just say money talks and he's going to walk. So, we got a few things to get ready. All
The plus, it should be just LGBT. She said, fuck the plus, the iron plus. But honey, I wouldn't be surprised if Trish goes to the doctor, get her chromosomes checked, and she's not 100% female, as I said in my response to her initially. Bitch, you a little too brick for that estrogen to be running through you like it's supposed to.
And according just to my research, within this last year, and they said in years prior, women and girls who have been harmed physically, sexually, in women's spaces have been harmed.
Scheduled at the LSPD's Mission Row station. Go in unarmed, play it cool. You might not have a problem. That's a 2-person job, max. The other 2-hander is our guy's prize Casco. We believe it's about to be shipped to Korea by a luxury car theft ring. Okay. Mr. Kress said you guys are at least semi-competent, so, well, Professor Reshkovsky pays well.
More so by cisgendered men who are masked and presents male than some men dressing up as a trans woman. So, like, it's really not a thing. It really doesn't exist. It's this large conversation about something that really doesn't exist. It just seems a little bit odd.
And I want to bring up playing around with gender, because we talked about that a little bit. Jerome, you brought it up, and so a lot of people are going to look at you as the eyeball on the panel. Yeah. There are people who play with gender. And even as trans women, I'm sure all of us have been on this panel have played with gender, whether it's been Halloween, whether it's been trying a new hairstyle, whether it's been considering various procedures to transition or to pass or to feel pretty. You know what I mean? People will play with gender. There are people who may identify as trans one day and realize that that is not their identity overall.
Is that like Demi Lovato?
Oh, very much so.
I think, and Kayla, I think that we should, I think that we should work toward a space, or be trying to work toward a space where it shouldn't matter. We need to, like Monroe has brought up many times, we need to consider gender spaces. We need to reconsider how we live and exist in restrooms, because there are a lot of people who may not be trans women who won't feel comfortable in a men's restroom.
We do that in LA.
Whether they're non-binary, whether they're whatever. And it shouldn't be our business as long as they're not harming anybody.
Because what's going to continue to happen, to Diamond's point earlier, is that the line is just going to keep moving. You can't have it. You got to have breasts. But now them breasts got to be silicone. They can't have tummy. Now they got to be this. They got to be that. And it's like, Liz, what is the, if safety is the root cause, right? What can this business or establishment do to now make sure that everyone feels safe in this space, right? One of the things that I'm not even going to bring it up, I'm going to say it.
Don't get us there.
You got me fucked up.
What I feel like is one of the most important pieces in this whole thing is like the unity amongst the entire community, right? Like, how do we get back to that? Like, because we keep having these conversations as One point it's the gays against trans, then it's the lesbians against trans. Then next thing you know, the bisexuals gonna come out of the clear blue sky out of nowhere, and then it's gonna be
Non-binary, trans.
again. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like we have to really like figure out what this unity piece looks like, because we all if the goal really is true liberation for the community, then what does that look like, right? Like if safety is the issue and liberation is the destination, how do we get there?
Yeah, but you're gonna repress it.
It looks like allow people to exist.
And also in the process of creating a world that we want to live in, not that exists, not the reality of right now.
Yeah.
In the process of creating a world that we want to live in, how are we moving within that process? Do we have to wait to the reality of the good, wholesome, safe world before we start moving in a way that, how do we start moving? Because if we stick to moving like the standard of cis people, justifying bad and harm and negative stuff based on cisgender beauty and cisgender way of living, then the world never comes to fruition. So how are we moving? Especially everybody in this space. Everybody in this space said, fuck what the doctor said, fuck what the world said I was supposed to be. We bumped up against that system and started moving different in how we wanted to see the world. So if just because the world ain't where we want it to be, why do we have to move in a way that's aligned with them? I'm trying to understand that.
But my thing is, we've been doing that. We've been moving in alignment. They just started acting like they had an issue with it. Let's be very, very clear about this. This is not something new. We've all grown up knowing a trans person, a super high femme drag queen that never came up out of the geesh, somebody in community that was that community tranny, or whatever you want to call that person, but we all had one. And everybody's
They told me, you don't want to live in no trailer, double ride trailer. This is a mansion trailer. This is the American dream. This trailer has 2 and 3 living rooms. This trailer has wall-to-ceiling floors, floor-to-ceiling windows inside refrigerators. Look at the damn kitchen. That kitchen belongs somewhere when Macaulay Culkin was eating when he was 10 years old, and his daddy and mom got on the plane, and they nicknamed him Richard Rich. Look at the closet. They got walk-in closet. They got bamboo floors. They got headboards that don't hit walls. They got ceiling fans. I don't even know what that thing is, but I want one. They got a home jacuzzi, water bed, tub, man, and a double wide trailer. And y'all mean to tell me going to a bank, getting a loan for 9.86% on a $400,000 house in Naples, Florida, where it's 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and you got to share a parking lot? Or when you walk down the stairs, somebody sitting in the back of your car smoking a black and mild, and I can get a mansion trailer with 2 entire living rooms? Y'all can. I want the new American dream. Double wide me, please. And I ain't talking about Roseanne and Lizzo making a sex tape. Double wide me, please. Double wide me, please. Am I upset? Yes, I'm upset because my whole life they told me that you don't want to live in no trailer, a double ride trailer. This is a mansion trailer. This is the American dream. This trailer has 2 and 3 living rooms. This trailer has wall-to-ceiling floors, floor-to-ceiling windows inside refrigerators. Look at the damn kitchen. That kitchen belongs somewhere on Macaulay Culkin.
It's $20. Even though I live in the hood, we're about to make this apartment look Hollywood. So first, let me start off by saying I found this shelf at Goodwill for just $20. And the moment I saw it, I immediately knew what I wanted to do with it because I already had 2 other shelves that I wanted to merge together to create a real statement piece for the living room. The only problem, getting it home. But there was no way I was leaving that store without it. So I called an Uber. The Uber cost me $30. So technically, I spent $50 on the shelf.
Oh, this is bad. This is very, very, very bad. I shouldn't be here. See, I should be with Trevor or at the airport or somewhere else. I don't know. Well, anyway, it's not my place to question leadership decisions. But someone may have told the Vagos and the Barros and the frat boys and the Lost and the O'Neills, told them all.
Even though I live in the hood, we're about to make this apartment look Hollywood. So first, let me start off by saying I found this shelf at Goodwill for just $20.
Don't let him kill him.
I'm done.
That chavala was going to rat me out, man. Tell the cops where I stashed the carga. I got my homie in the joint to teach him a lesson his bolas will never forget.
Grandma. Grandma. Oh my gosh, Grandma. 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 Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, please, I'm so sorry. Grandma, please, I'm so sorry. Please take this. Grandma, I promise you it's accident. Grandma, I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, Grandma. 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 Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, please, I'm so sorry. Grandma, please, I'm so sorry. Please take this. Grandma, I promise you it's accident. I am so mad right now. Grandma, I'm sorry. Oh my God, Grandma. Grandma. Grandma.
All right, I'm going to
Grandma, I'm
bed.
so sorry. Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, I'm so sorry. Grandma, please.
All right, good night. Make sure y'all brush y'all teeth. And I will see y'all later. Well, today. Later today. Good night.